What's going on? What's going, man? Come on in. Come on in. Let's talk some Atlanta Falcons right
It's
quick,
that
man.
time again.
Apologies for last night, man. I feel a little under the weather. Still not feeling too good right now, but I'm gonna grind it out. Pause for y'all, cause I know y'all got to have these updates, and y'all got to give. Y'all want our thoughts on this matchup. And this is a Monday night matchup, man. And before we start, man, I just gotta also say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. It's
Yep.
Christmas Eve. When you get older, man, Christmas don't seem like Christmas no more. It's just another day. But that doesn't mean the kids shouldn't enjoy their day, man. So shout out to all the kids out there. If you got kids and you listening in, man, shout out to them. I hope Santa bring them everything that he can, everything that they heart desire, man. Because I knew when I was a kid, um, my family made it happen no matter what. Robert Blackman, what's up, my guy? But what's up, Tip, man? Tell us how you feeling, man.
Hey man, yes. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. And by the time some of everybody see some of this, it may be Merry Christmas by the end. So, Merry Christmas to you. And hey man, I just look at it, man. You just can't lose touch of your childhood, man. You got to keep a small speck of it somewhere so you can be able to rekindle that around times like this. And but yeah, man, most important thing, man. Family and just being together and that togetherness. So y'all make sure that y'all doing that with your family if you can, say, because I understand, some families are a little dysfunctional, so it's all good. But either way it goes, still Merry Christmas to all. We're gonna get into this matchup because it's gonna be a barn burner on Monday night. Falcons versus Rams, and
Absolutely,
can't wait to
absolutely,
get to it.
absolutely. Nephew, I saw that, man. If you got to hire a firm to tell you what's going on in your own organization, a lot of
Bro,
people need to be stepping down. Just
man,
keeping it
bro,
real with you, man. Just keeping it real. DB Gang 11, what's up, my guy?
big
Merry
fan
Christmas.
saying that.
Merry Christmas. Uncle Lou, what's up, Uncle
What's
Lou? Merry
happening,
Christmas
Uncle
to you and
Lou?
the family. Merry Christmas.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
hey, Uncle Lou, I'm sticking to what I'm saying, man. I want Tyler to stay, but if that means more money in the number one spot, hey, I'm all for it, man. Because one thing about me, I love progress, and I think he deserves it. And as I said on the show the other day, I honestly think that I feel like he could be the next Michael Turner when it comes to like he played up under the Daniel Thomason in San Diego. He could be a breakout running back on another team. I'm just saying, man. When Mike Turner came to the Falcons, he set all kinds of franchise records. And I'm not gonna go that far, but I'm saying he can make an immediate impact. He can have a healthy payday, and I feel like he deserves that chance, man. And like I said, I love to have him here. And exactly, that's what we say, Uncle Lou. We want him to deserve what he deserves, and he deserves a fair chance, and he deserves the money, man. Because he was 1,000 yard rusher already. So look, I'm telling you, he deserves it. But something I spoke on a little bit earlier, man. I got mixed reviews. Let me make sure I got this right because B Drake London and Bijan, these two contracts coming up in the next 2 years. And this is a hard decision to some people, man. To some, it ain't. But these are two of the Falcons' top playmakers. But by the time Drake London comes up for a contract, he's going to be in the 35 million range. And I'm not a fan of paying a receiver that kind of money when you can go in the draft and probably get a second or third rounder with the same production. And don't get me wrong, 6'4", 215, 220. You can't just teach that, man. That's something that's God given. Um that's God natural ability, man, to make you decide that you are. As far as height and weight, but strong hands, can make any play. Catch rate is just stupid. 50-50 contested balls. He's probably one of the best in the league. But again, 35 million. Bijan Robinson, number 7 running back. Dual threat, fast, powerful, shifty. Can break any tackle that you try to throw at him. 2 back-to-back 1,000 yard seasons. Probably gonna have double digit touchdown when the season's over, so he can do that in back to back years. But which one would you pay? Would you give B John the 25 or give Drake the 35? That's all I'm asking. And I'm gonna start with you, Chris, and chat. Y'all can jump in if y'all want. What would you do? What you got?
I mean, when you look at it, you really want to try to see if you can keep both of the guys together. But of course, if you want to break it down to just one, it's still a tough decision because it depends on how much the Falcons value the position. I believe, honestly, both guys are playmakers. Bijan is special. Drake is a warrior. We know this. So at the end of the day, when I break it down, it's like you got to pay Bijan, man, because especially if you're not going to even try to keep the tandem together of Bijan and Tyler, then you just got to go ahead and get ready to give Bijan his bag, and be content with that. He's going to be like the highest paid, most likely running back. So probably ahead of Saquon, I'm pretty sure. And so that right there is gonna be your cornerstone, and you're saying that, hey, Bijan's getting paid, and we got to work the roster around Bijan. That's really what it's gonna signal. But I also still think about like other contracts. What I'm saying, like a Drake London. It's like, okay, there are guys coming out as wide receivers, but at the same time, you already know what you get with Drake London. So like it's tough. Because like maybe if Drake would take maybe a little less money, you would feel different. But at the end of the day, do you consider Drake, a wide receiver one, or is he just the Falcons wide receiver one? So but I think around the league, I think people see that Drake London is a playmaker. He's a guy that can be used in the slot on the outside. I understand about the speed and everything, but as far as he is more of a possession receiver, but that's one thing that he does excellent. He possesses the ball, and when you throw it up, that guys say they call him 50-50 balls. I'm telling you, that's a guy that's like 80-20. He comes down with most of the time. He comes down with the football, or not at all. It's not going the other way. Basically, my point. So it's tough, but I still want to feel like when the ultimate decision is broken down, when you stay up all night trying to figure out and weigh the pros and the cons, I think they're going to go with Bijan Robinson because that guy is 7 is special. Like, you can't deny it.
Agreed. Robert Blackman, that's actually the question. That's actually the biggest question: what the scheme going to look like next year? And if they bring back the coaches, I think they're going to at least change out the offensive coordinator, if not the whole staff. What would that next offensive coordinator system look like? And would Drake be a key part of that system? It's the same for Kyle Pitts. If you're not gonna, include Kyle Pitts and make him a priority in the offense, don't even think about resigning him because you ain't got no more money to waste. So if Bijan is going to be that guy, you're going to build around him. I'd say let Kyle walk and trade Drake. Bring in more wide receivers that can battle for the position, and bring in a quarterback and an offensive coordinator that can build the scheme around the guys. Because if you don't do that, you just wasting money and time. Just keep it funky with you. But nephew also said he confused. Y'all keep Bijan. Y'all want to keep Kyle Pitts, Drake, and Bijan. That's exactly why our defense sucks, is because we value offense over defense. Nephew, that's not true to an extent, because we actually have a decent defense. We have somebody coaching it now. The problem is we don't want to fall into that same situation with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Deion Jones. That's what we're talking about. And if you can't come to a common ground and, keep these contracts at a minimum, except for key players, such as the quarterback, such as whoever, Bijan and whoever else is the number one defender down the road. But I still say those two defensive ends and Jalen Walker and James Pierce, those are the two guys you got to build around. I just hate to say that, because defense needs to be our priority now. And the reason why I say that, when we have a strong defense, as long as we can put up X amount of points, I think we can win more football games. This is what made the Steelers and the Ravens so good for years, because they have a defense that can lock people down, and they do just enough on offense to win football games. And I think that could be a recipe for us, if you want me to be honest. So,
Possibly,
yeah, so I think we should build a stronger defense, honestly, and have just enough talent to put up points to beat teams. Absolutely, the Broncos are a team, and you see They know how to put up
Yeah.
points on offense as well. And as I told y'all, Sean Payton is one of the most
Number one in sacks. It said plus
most
who is the quarterback? Yeah, Robert. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, who is going to be the quarterback? Because Michael Penix, I don't expect him to be out there come week one. I'm telling you. So, but I also don't expect us to keep Kirk Cousins because we can't. 57 million dead cap. We just can't
right,
do that to ourselves.
right. Merry Christmas,
Merry
Douglas.
Christmas, Doug.
Y'all go check out Douglas Farrington on YouTube, man. He doing his thing, man. Y'all please go support him. Hit that subscribe button. Tell him Smitty sent you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nephew, we gotta do it, man. I mean, I hate to say it. Build on defense, and you get a decent quarterback and a decent offensive coordinator with these weapons. You probably got at least a 10-11 win team if everything is flowing in the right direction. Because we have the offensive line, we have the running back, wide receivers, we have good depth at position. So I mean, we'll see. But I still
And
say, go ahead.
And I was about to say another reason why I feel like Bajan it would be kept too because you already see he's being used more so in the passing game now. So I'm thinking that you keep Bajan, you're going to pay Bajan because you're going to have him doing being that Swiss Army knife, doing some of everything in the offense. So you may have like what you're saying, like a dare I say maybe like a San Francisco-esque type offense to where like you have like okay a big play guy, you maybe have like a name or two, but it's like outside of that you like okay Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings. I mean Jawan Jennings is probably the most known name right now because who knows what's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk out there. But you think about Ricky Pearsall, you think about my guy that can't Kendrick Bourne. Those are not necessarily like huge names. So you can possibly still get by if you have the right coaching because you see they definitely have the right coaching. Nobody expected the 49ers, coming in, having these big losses to still be where they are. But look where they are. So
But I take it back to even that, Chris. Let's take it back though. Let's be real.
sure, let's go.
That 1998 team, to me,
Right.
one of the best in Falcons history, probably the best. But when you look at that team, it was built on offense predicated on the run game. Jamal
Exactly.
Anderson had over 1,800 yards, and I think he had 15, 16 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But that team was a second change, and they ran the ball heavily. And no disrespect to none of the receivers on that team. Terrence Matthews is one of the greatest Falcons of all time. He was the number
Right.
one on that team. Then you had Tony Martin, Sean Jefferson, and those guys. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have a wild and wide receiver room, and they had a journeyman at quarterback in Chris Chandler.
Chris Chandler.
But Dan Reeves know how
That
to
run
put it
game.
all together. Yeah, Dan Reeves knew how to put it all together. So when a coach knows how to put it all together and get the best out of everybody, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of thing that they need to build up, man. If they can do that, I think they have a playoff team. Because think about it, it's no shot at Jamal Anderson either. But Bijan is all world at running back. And if you give
Right.
him a similar setup where he can just run wild, Falcons have a chance to make it to a Super Bowl with that same type team. That's what I'm saying. You bring in a quarterback and an offensive mind that can get the best out of these players. I think they have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs. Because let's be real, Dan Reeves, he had made it to previous Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. Then he comes to
That's what I
Atlanta with
was
that
just about to
experience.
say. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not always about name. Sometimes it's just all about chemistry, what you can get the best out of guys, what you can put together, and who works well together. Because this defense, man, the way they played this year with sacks and the way they've kept this team in games, I just think it's a Super Bowl caliber defense. And Ski, you absolutely right. Clint Kubiak could be one of those guys um, to come in, and me and Chris talked about it, being one of those guys that can get the best out of the diversity and spreading the ball out. He just one of those guys, a smart offensive mind. And I think, and the funny thing is, he knows the Mike Shanahan system just like Kyle Shanahan does because his dad worked with Kyle's dad in Denver, even
Yeah.
played quarterback in Denver under John Elway, so he knows this system front to back. And I'm sure his dad taught him everything.
But as
So
crazy as
he,
it sounds, Clint
Go ahead.
also knows Kirk Cousins too, though, very well.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but that again, that's a bad thing though. Cause remember the money, that's a bad thing. But also Clint,
You
man,
brought it up.
there's only one way you get Clint, and that's if you got to get rid of Raheem. Clint's not coming here to be a coordinator. He's not leaving Seattle to come to Atlanta to be a coordinator.
Right. He would be the head coach,
He's
definitely.
going to have to be
And
the
he would
head
call his
coach.
own plays. It would be such a situation such as a Sean Payton.
Yeah,
And
I'll be standing down there. They'd be like, they'll have me as the offensive coordinator, but I'm not coordinating nothing. They just I'll just be down there.
yeah, we just ordered DoorDash. That's all we doing.
Yeah, hey, that's all I need. That's all I need to do. Like, what in the world did he do anyway? I don't mind telling you. I'll be in the press conference. Yeah, man, I'm the DoorDash guy. They probably don't want me to say that, but you know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then honestly, man, you can order me the right chicken wings. I'm good to go, man. Tell them I'm good.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man, that's how the Bijan and Drake thing was shake down to me. It just all depends on what you're heading for towards the future, who's going to be the coach. Because as I told y'all, nobody's safe if a new coach comes in. Nobody.
I'm telling you,
Maybe
man.
Bijan, but to me, nobody is safe, especially when you don't have a clear cut starter at quarterback.
Yeah, I think honestly, just to finish that up, any guy that comes in and they look at the roster, I don't know how you don't look at the roster and say, well, seven is staying, but everybody else we can kind of talk about.
Right,
Just being honest.
right.
Yeah, man.
But let's flip the switch, man. Falcon offense against Ram defense. Uh, it's gonna be a tough one, man, because the Rams pretty much they're solid on both sides of the football. And the way we've been running with Bijan the last couple of weeks is a plus. But at the same time, let's not get too comfortable with that because we know Zach Roberts can go right back into that hole he come out of every blue moon, and the real Zach will show up at any time. And this is a key game for the Rams, so they're gonna bring their all. And the way this defense is built, and y'all know Mr. Nate Landman, Mr. Downhill, Mr. Thumper, he'll get it done. Jared Verse, who led the rookies in sacks last year. You look at Byron Young on the other side of him. Those are two sack masters of the young. They're another James Pearson, Jalen Walker at and you have Kobe Turner, who had I think 8 or 9 sacks as a rookie last year, maybe 10. But they have a solid pass rush as well. Then Braden Fisk is also on that defensive line. They were still running 3-4, just like when Raheem was there. They know how to attack the football. Kobe Durant, Emmanuel Forbes, who has found a new home there. Then you look at Cameron Kitchens, one of the better up and coming safeties in the league. So they have the defense. So what I feel like the Falcons have to do is still run the football, still give Tyler the ball, still give Bijan the ball, hit him in the mouth early and try to knock him off the line of scrimmage. I think that is the best way to beat a Rams defense that's very aggressive. And you saw against the Seattle Seahawks, they were up and down that game, but at the same time, if you attack them in the right way, and I'm sure Falcon will find a way. And we all know it is coming. And I'm gonna say it: the last 2 games, you got to keep including giving Kyle Pitts the football, because I don't think there's any safety or linebacker or even cornerback that can stop Kyle Pitts on that defense. But if you infuse him early and often, I would say first 2 drive, give him about 5 to 6 catches the first 2 drive. I think that knocks the defense line off the football. And I think that's the key to winning. Because if he opens up the field, Bijan and Tyler, just like last week, both of them had over 70 yards. I think you can have that type game this year. And if they run for 150 yards a game combined, it's likely a Falcon victory. But that's what I got right quick. A1, what you got?
Well, that's funny. But either way it goes, the Rams defense is built to rush the passer, I think, first, not necessarily stonewall the run. So man, I'm going to run the ball at them regardless. I know they're like 12th in the league, but that's our bread and butter to run the ball. And I think when when I've been talking about it before, the Rams when excuse me, the Falcons when they have a balanced run attack, most likely they do win. And you got to make sure that you're splitting up the carries between these two guys, and you got to keep giving these guys different looks. Because at the end of the day, like they do have those pass rushers again. Yes, they do. They generate pressure with four, with three sometimes. So again, they have guys that they can get after it. But we have to make sure that we're winning on third and long, and we're winning on third down completely to keep these drives going. The Rams, they don't necessarily like blitz a whole lot, but that's actually dangerous when you think about it, because that means they're still getting pressure with their line. So again, we do have to knock them off the line. We have to be the more physical team in this game, seriously. And we have to go smack these guys before they hit us. Rams, where they really can struggle as far as like edge containment, especially and they over pursue in the outside zone runs. So you can definitely see Bijan Robinson popping off maybe 4 to 6 yards easy. And I mean, well, let me not say easy, but my thing is if the offense is clicking on all cylinders and being efficient like we know they can be in the run game, then yes, it's going to seem like it's easy. Especially when you have a talent like Bijan back there. He's going to get an extra 1 or 2 yards anyway, just off of doing a dance or doing a dead leg. So with that being said, man, I'm looking at us, and I think, we're going to have to, continue to run heavy, but also don't, lose sight that we can do some play action, and we can get Kyle Pitts involved, continue to get him involved, because again, there is nobody the Rams have that's going to be able to cover him. It would be lovely to have, Drake London out there as well, because if you can have Kyle and Drake, you can be able to mix up the looks, and you can be able to use different motions to kind of like throw these guys off, and they're not going to know exactly like which weapon you're going after. Like it's going to have to be strategic, because you think about it too. These guys talking about Raheem and Zach are going up pretty much against the guys that they learned the whole system from. So most of the plays and most of the formations, there's nothing that you're really going to be able to surprise them with, So it's going to be interesting to see what tweaks that Zach Robinson has really added to this offense, and really, tailored to his own offense event against this, because again, it almost seems like a mini version of John Gruden versus the Raiders, knowing all the plays. So you got to make sure that you're mixing it up. You got to make sure that you're keeping him guessing on the other sideline as well. So that's going to be very interesting to see how Zach is able to navigate that, and being able to, to mix things up, knowing you're going against almost, I dare I say, your sensei.
Agreed. I mean, you can't put it no simpler than that, bro. You can't.
Yeah.
But let's switch it up right quick, man. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball, man. How are we going to face up against their offense? Because you talking about one of the best offenses in the league, man, and I'm telling you, they could easily be on offense one of the best in the league, and we talking about some great offenses around the league. But remember me saying that the Falcons should make the type move that they made to go get a superstar quarterback, a strong arm quarterback. I can still see that, even though Kirk is here right now, and we could save about $35 million if we cut him post June 1st. But if we cut him pre June 1st, it's still $22 million. So that means he probably still likely gets the roster bonus. But
you gotta do it.
But if you can go out and find your Matthew Stafford, and this is why I came up with the Joe Burrow idea, because I feel like he's one of those quarterbacks. He's already made it to a Super Bowl, nearly won it. So at the quarterback position, if he can stay healthy a full season, and we have a Bijan and a Drake, and possibly bring back a Kyle Pitts, that's a championship caliber offense. I mean, he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in Cincinnati right now. But you give me 3 weapons as opposed to 2, I take that every day, twice on Sunday. But the Rams offense is predicated on the run as well. Even though Puka Nacua is an all-world receiver, they have a new guy. He's pretty much on the rise, and the way that they play on offense is just wide open. Is the way we should be playing. But our offensive coordinator can't get his play calling right. And this game, I think we're going to be without Mike Hughes. He's been hurt, banged up all week, and I think Kobe Bryant gets another goal this week. You see C.J. Henderson get a game clinching interception last week. AJ has struggled, so they're going to take advantage of the slot. Whoever plays in the slot, and I think it may be C.J. Henderson or Natron Brooks, one or the other, or D. Alford. So whoever plays the slot is going to have a tougher matchup this week because I think that was Puka's going to attack this week, and that's going to be their key all game. But the way we got after the quarterback with Brandon Dorless, who's already had more sacks in the season, tied Grady Jarrett, if not past Grady Jarrett. I think he has 8.5 now.
He's at 8.
He's at 8, so he has passed Grady Jarrett by half a sack. So when you look at the interior of the Falcons line with Rook, Brandon, and Onyemata, I think they're going to attack the middle of the Rams' offensive line. And I think that's the way you get to them. Then you have Pierce and Walker coming from the outside. You still have Caden get after the quarterback. So I think getting after Matthew Stafford is going to be key, and he gets the ball out very quick, very, very quick. So if you don't get to him, he's going to make plays, whether it's to Puka Nakua, whether it's to Kyron Williams, one of those tight ends, he's going to find a way to make a play. So I think Blake Corum could be an unsung hero as well because he's a little bit undersized, but he's like a mini bowling ball, sort of like a Doug Martin used to be. So I just feel like the Falcons have to get to Matthew Stafford in order to win this football game and shake him up early, because if you do, that kind of puts him out balance for the rest of the game, and that's any quarterback that you play against. So hit him early, hit him fast, and force him to make quick throws, and maybe you can force a turnover. But we talking about a guy who I don't think he even has 5 interceptions this year, and I think he has almost 40 touchdown passes, would lead the league. So you're gonna shut him down early, not let him do his thing, make them one dimensional by running the football, and then I think you may have a chance. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This offense is pretty much unstoppable, man, if you look at it from a distance. But if I'm gonna have they're gonna have a test on their hands, man. But A1, what you got?
Man, well, one thing about these Rams offense, man, they always like to stay ahead of the chains, and they attack that zone coverage windows. I think something that's not talked about enough about how they take short passes and turn them into medium gains and so forth and so have you. Like they've been one of the better teams, and honestly, like they're the number one team on offense all the way around. Matthew Stafford, honestly, he's definitely the MVP if I have to make the selection. That guy, just what he's doing at his age, he's look like he's not even aging, man. Honestly, it's just amazing, go Dogs. But it's just amazing to see what he's doing out there too, man. But ultimately, where they struggle, you have to force mistakes. And all their losses, one thing that's happened is they force mistakes or they've allowed a comeback. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if we get too far behind the sticks or too far, like how we was against Tampa, being down by 2 scores and then being able to come back. I don't see us being able to do that against this offense. So again, we're going to have to keep it close, and we're going to have to force turnovers because they will. They're not unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? But they will cause. You can cause them to have turnovers, but you got to earn it. They're not going to give you anything. So again, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, that is what they're really, like where they really struggle. When you get them behind the sticks, their efficiency drops. So how can the Falcons defense win? We have to have a strong interior, and we have to, like I've always said, generate that real pressure. We have to lay hands on Matthew Stafford. We have to make him a little jittery. Now, the thing about Stafford is he can still operate even when his cage is rattled. So you're just going to have to continue to just keep kicking that cage, all game long, okay? So, like, pressure up the middle. So, Brandon Dorless, hello. David Amanyata, how you doing? And of course, so we're going to be having these disguise. We're going to have to try to make sure we're winning the first down. That's going to be key because, again, second and long, third and long, that's when they start struggling. Their efficiency goes down. So winning the first down is going to be very key. Getting off the freaking field on third down is going to be so key for this Falcons defense. And also something that we don't talk about enough, the physicality in the secondary. It has to be controlled chaos, and we have to tackle well. All right, like all the way around, up and down, we have to tackle well. Eliminate the yards after catch. That's Puka Nakua's, it's a calling card, and he's a strong individual. You may have to gang tackle. So if Atlanta's tacklers, they're able to tackle well, pressure up the middle, the Rams offense could become ordinary, but that is just easy to say. You're going to have to go out there and execute that.
Absolutely, man. If you saw that Seattle game when they were playing zone, Matthew Stafford was picking them apart. I think he had 400 yards that game, if I'm not mistaken, or damn near 400 yards. But he did his thing against Seattle. But again, the way we struggled against the pass the last half of the season, don't be surprised he has a big game, and they depend on Matthew Stafford arm this game. But nephew had a question. He said, "Do you think we should sit Drake for the season? He's had practice with modifications." And nephew,
bro,
I've been saying it for the last 2-3 weeks. If he's going to get a contract, let him sit. If you know he's the one at wide receiver, let him sit. Do not risk further injury and risk messing up part of next season or messing up his off-season training program trying to get healthy from a serious knee injury. Let him sit. You have nothing to play for. Let some of these other guys, such as Nick Nash, Chris Blair, and these guys, and David Seals, you see what he's done. So, look, let him sit.
And I've been saying it like last week. I was like, I feel like that was a bad decision to even let him play last week, to be honest, because you can clearly see the hobble. You can clearly see that like there's as they like to say, a little hitch in his giddy up, as they like to say. Right. He definitely didn't look like Drake. Yeah, he made a couple catches, but he had 8 targets. And normally, with Drake London, most of the footballs thrown his way, he's able to come down with them, or at least able to get himself in position for that. Happy holidays, Zay. But in that particular game, he just didn't look like Drake. And I understand he's trying to play for a contract. I understand he has incentives that he's probably trying to meet too within that rookie contract. So, I get it, but sometimes you got to save guys from themselves. And like you said, if they believe that he's the number one, then just sit the guy. I understand too. You got to what they say, if he's in the building, you pretty much gotta just get out of his way because he's going to play or some mess like that. Well, shoot, you may have to put security by the locker or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes you got to save guys from themselves. And I think, Drake, we need to look forward more so to next year, have him fully healthy, not any lingering knee issues or anything. He's already tall. He already plays receiver. We don't need, I understand he has the off season too, but there's no need in putting any added pressure on your body when, the only thing you're pretty much playing for is if, we're going to keep the same coach or not and pride at the end of the day. So you got to save guys from themselves.
Absolutely. Can't say it better than that. Because at the end of the day, if something happened to you, they're going to move on regardless. That's at a 9-to-5 job. Let's keep that funky. Let's keep it real. Y'all know I wouldn't lie to y'all, and I haven't lied, and I wouldn't do it now. Start now. But let's have the X factors, man. Y'all drop them in the comment box, man. Them X factors. I think I'll start this one because this one's gonna be tough to even pick because it's the way this offense is constructed, man. The way McVay's calls these plays, as you said earlier. He's always creative and he finds ways to get his playmakers to football. But I think the X factor in this game has to be D Offer. And D Offer had a great season for the Falcons. On defense, it's got to be D Offer because, like I said, Puka Nacua is going to work that slot. And Puka Nacua is one of those players that can go for 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns any given game. So D Offer is going to jam him up the line, like you said. He's going to have to be physical with him, and I think the offense is going to have to be counted on this game to bring this game home. Offensive wise, I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts again. As I said,
Mm-hmm.
he's got to be the one to take control of this game on offense. He's got to give it his all because they don't have coverage type linebackers. They have downhill guys, and that's a plus for him. So you line him up in the slider, you line him up in the Y, and I think he'll have a hell of a game this game because Kobe Durant at one corner spot, and you have Emmanuel Forbes. Both of those guys are undersized, and they can't stop him. So Kyle Pitts, this is your game. Go off. That's what I got, man. Kyle Pitts, D offer are my X factors for this game against the Rams. What you got?
Love it, love it. Okay, so X factor on the offensive end, man. I'm gonna go with our entire offensive line. We gotta have it this week, guys. We gotta be the more physical team. We gotta open up those lanes for Bijan Robinson, make it the game more easier for him, so he can be able to see things with his vision, be able to set up moves before they happen, like he already does. Also, be able to open up lanes for Tyler Algier so he can get to that second level next to those cornerbacks and some of those linebackers that really kind of want to make business decisions when they try to tackle them. So honestly, man, make sure that you guys are opening lanes for the running backs. This need to be a game to where we continue to punish their defense, with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Honestly, for the rest of the season, that should be the formula. Bijan and Tyler just punching teams in the mouth, really take off some frustration, because this season has been a disappointment. So at the end, these last two games, and especially this game against a primetime opponent, an opponent who's been labeled as a team that possibly can go to the Super Bowl. You had an opportunity against the Seahawks that didn't go well. This is another opportunity right here. And so offensive line, I'm going to go with y'all. We got to have it. As for the defense, yeah, I know, man. I know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but we got to get after them. So as for the defense, I'm going to go with man, you know what? I ain't went with him in a while. I'm gonna go with Jeff Ulbrich. I need Jeff Ulbrich as a coordinator. Him and Nate Ollie to get together and devise like the best defensive plan that they possibly can against this offense. Like you have Raheem Morris. Raheem, if there's anything that you possibly can do to inform these guys, some give tendencies away. At the end of the day, it's got to be all hands. And I believe that Jeff Ulbrich is going to have like more so of a master class to really combat this Rams offense and slow them down so that our offense with Kirk Cousins can be able to operate with Bijan Robinson and also Tyler Algier and the rest of our playmakers. The defense is really going to have to show up and give us an opportunity like they've been showing up all season long for us. But just like last week, how the defense won the game, they got to step up again, even more so in this game, because this is, again, the number one offense of the NFL. When I'm talking about points, yards, they got the touchdowns, they got it all. So we got to be on our ish. Really, the primer was the Seahawks game, and I'm sure hoping that for the fans' sake, I'm really hoping it's not going to be another embarrassing loss like that. But so Jeff Ulbrich, continue to do what you're doing to try to have the best game plan. Offensive line, we got to have it. We got to be the most physical offensive line in this game. So got to have it, fam. Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be easy.
Keith said X is our defense. How you guys feel about reporter Blank hiring a consult firm? I said a little bit earlier, Keith. I think if he got to do that, then he got the wrong people in the front office. You should be able to sort out your own problem without bringing in somebody from the outside. I mean, that's poor management, if you ask me. I'm gonna just keep it real with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Honestly, I'm gonna go even a little bit further. For me, it was disappointing when I saw it because it just made me feel like I just have an owner that just doesn't believe in just what he sees. Like, like you see that the fan base is not feeling this. You see that regardless of the talent, we are not, getting it done on a consistent level. And even though it's been 2 years, it feels like 4. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. So that's a sign right there of a toxic relationship when it feels longer than what it really is, and it's not in a good way. And my thing is, like, for me with that, I don't know how you feel like, oh, another person's going to come in. Oh, because my thing is, okay, what if they come in and say, yeah, man, you need to tear this thing down? Will you do it? So it's so at the end of the day,
that's the biggest thing, Chris. That's an excellent point.
right. So it's just like,
Excellent point.
I mean, like, what if they say something that you don't want to hear? Are you going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to dismiss this right here because that's not what I want to hear? I mean, are you going to take it under advisement? Are you going to actually listen to it? So there's so many questions that go behind that. And I understand getting outside help. I do. But sometimes, like, it's just you got to make these decisions on your own. We don't hear about this from every team going to go get outside help and outside sources to do a wellness check of your franchise. It just doesn't sound good, and the presentation is not good. Again, I understand it on one side, but I step outside of the understanding, and I'm just like, come on, man. Like, are you seeing what we all, our fans, are seeing? This coaching staff does not deserve another shot. But at the end of the day, it's optics. Right, Keith? Keith just said it's optics. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Score predictions, y'all drop them in the chat, man. Drop the score predictions in the chat. This is gonna be a tough game, man. Like I said, it's gonna be tough. And I'm picking the Rams, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I love my Falcons, but I'm a realist, and I think the Rams gonna be too much to stop on offense, man. Especially if we can't put up points. I think it's gonna be a kind of a high scoring game because I feel like the Falcons can put up points. But I'm gonna go 30-24 Rams. I think they will outlast us because I just think Matthew Stafford gonna outdo Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna go 30-24 Falcons.
I like it, man. Woo, boy, it is gonna be a showdown between two old gunslingers, Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford. With another guy that we didn't really talk about is Williams. Their running back. They have their own version, different style. You know what I'm saying? Probably not as much pop, but he's still effective. And Williams, the running back for them, of course, we already talked about Puka. And I'm not sure about Devontae Adams. He may not play this game, so that's definitely going to help the Falcons if Devontae Adams, who's been a touchdown machine for the Rams, this season. So if he's not playing, that's a good thing. It'd be great if Drake plays, but again, I would sit Drake down just because he's clearly not healthy. I want a healthy Drake out there if he's going to be out there, and he's clearly not. So we'll see what happens with that. David Stills, Nick Nash, Chris Blair, all y'all up because we're still in the evaluation process. But score prediction I'm still taking my Falcons. But it ain't gonna be by a large margin at all. I'm going to go 29-28 Falcons. Zane Gonzalez does it again. So
you're gonna go with the Tampa Bay score again?
Hey, man, it's going to be like right around in that area. It could be like 31-30, could be 33-32, but I still think it's going to be like that close of a game, or at least, 3 points or less. I do. If we were able to win, 3 points or less.
You would say he got 32-24, so he's in the same ballpark I'm in. Nephew said he's 48-10. That's a blowout. And then you can't blame him because the way the season is going.
Seahawks, 31-3 in one half. So
right, and it could happen again.
And that happened at home.
And this is at home,
bro. You know how painful that was to be on that field watching that. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was talking to them Seahawks. I was talking to them. I was like, "Hey, man, hey, uncle, okay, uncle, in this, like, this don't make no sense." Then even the Seahawks. Oh gosh, I don't even want to go back to it because even they was even over there on the sideline, like, yeah, we can go ahead, I'm ready to go home now. I'm just like you know how that feels. It's almost like being on the playground and playing backyard football or basketball, and just the other team just wearing you out. They just be like, hey man, it's boring, man. Let's go somewhere else. That's how it felt. But again, we'll see what
You up
happens.
like 48-0 and still playing. That's embarrassing. Yeah. Oh boy. Quick shout out, man. Shout out to the chat for coming through again, man.
Thank
Again.
you.
Merry Christmas to y'all, man. I pray y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Pray y'all be around your loved ones. And if you have kids, see a smile on their face be priceless. Because I remember when my daughter was coming up, to see her smile on Christmas was all I needed most of the time. But again, Christmas is mainly for the kids, so let them enjoy it. And if you out there doing knucklehead stuff, lay it off for one day to let these kids enjoy at least the one day that's made for them and do their thing. And I'm a damn PlayStation 5 guy myself. So if you own PlayStation and you getting one for the first time, pray you enjoy it, man. But again, shout out to y'all for always coming through on the sports machine, man. Truly, truly appreciate you. This has been a wonderful year. I have grown just a little bit more. And look, 2026 could be my biggest year yet. It's already ending off with a bang in 2025. So let's carry it over to a new year and see how it pays off. And I think it will pay off for me and Chris down the road, because when you put in work and you do what you got to do, somebody going to take notice. And I know somebody that knows both of us, but they're just waiting to the right time to show us gratitude and, give us a chance to grow on another platform, if not our own. So shout out to y'all, man, for helping the sports machine grow. And also getting over 15,000, because at the start of the year, I think I was at a little bit over 10,000. So I grown 5,000 subs in 1 year. So thank y'all for that. But get them shout outs, man.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely shout out to the chat. As always, really appreciate everybody. Please have a safe, happy, Merry Christmas. Make sure you're spending it with your family, or at least, some people who are like family to you. And hold on, he said, I'm convinced GTA 6 will be released before the Falcons get good. I don't know, man. We don't got a lot of stuff before we don't got GTA 6, so we'll see.
And the last GTA, what, about 15 years ago?
Nah,
maybe longer.
I don't think it was that long, but it's been a while since GTA 5 came out, and they still adding updates to GTA 5. That's the thing. They still adding updates. Yeah. But so that's what I'm saying. GTA 6, I don't know, man. But yeah, man, y'all make sure y'all have a Merry Christmas, man. Again, so yeah, the presents and everything are nice, but the love and everything like that, it lasts as long. It lasts a little longer, if it's real. So make sure you're getting that. Make sure you're finding your peace. Positive energy always creates elevation. And come on over to A1 Forever Sports, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, be a part of the A1 family over there. Really appreciate everyone for helping get me over 4,500. So just continuously trying to climb, and maybe one day soon I'll be up there with Smitty at the 15K. We'll see what happens. But either way it goes.
Oh, you'll get there. Yeah, you almost at 5 now. You are a third of the way there.
Hey,
trust
man,
me.
I'm just working.
You done passed a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Because guess what? I think only about 10 to 11% get 10,000. So I was just lucky. Look, it can happen for anybody, man. If I can make it, anybody can. I'm just being real with y'all.
No, I feel. Hey, I receive that. Believe it.
That was just a blessing, man. And trust me, we both been blessed since we start working together. I've came up on some things. You came up on some things. So, we just going to keep working till we get to where we need to be. To both of us in the same spot, pretty much. So, look, we both been blessed, and we going to keep it at that, man. But, look, been another great show, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We truly, truly appreciate it. Like I said, I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas and enjoy y'all family, man, if y'all can. Enjoy your kids, because when your kids small, they only stay small for so long until they start digging in your damn pockets like mine do mine. So just trust me, it's a blessing, for your kids to stay small for a certain amount of time. Because look, the world we live in, just enjoy them and just raise them right. That's all I'm saying. But for my boy Chris, this your boy Antoine Smith. Again, Merry Christmas. New Year right around the corner.
That's
and
right.
We will do a show before that happens. But until the next show, we're gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.
Holler.